Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Morning Time with the Z Team. Good morning. Good morning. We love coming and talking with you. How are you today? Give me some flappers if you're doing well. Good morning. All right. Well, we always start with our calendar. And we are in the month of February. February. So we start with our days of the week. We have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Wednesday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's fine. You can jump in anytime you want to speak with me. I speak on the and we are all the way, we always come on Tuesdays. We are all the way down here on the 11th. So we're going to count down to 11 today. Ready? One, two,
Two,
three,
three,
four,
four,
five,
five,
six,
six,
seven,
7, 8,
8, 9,
9.
10, 11. Today is Tuesday, February 11th. And our year is 2025. Awesome job. Thank you for doing the calendar with me this morning. All right. Every week we add a coin. Where did I put my coins at? We have our coins. Excuse me. And every week we add a penny. Well, let's start with our little review. Can you see this coin? You know what the name of that coin is? Can you say nickel? Nickel. Can you show me 5 fingers? A nickel is worth 5 cents. That's right, 5 cents. Can you say nickel 5 cents?
Nickel 5 cents.
Yes, it is. Good job. And our pennies, do you know what a penny is worth? This is called a penny. Show me 1 finger. A penny equals one. One.
1,
Uh-huh. So we're going to add on. We have 5,
5,
6.
6,
One more is 7,
7,
8. And today we have, what is one more?
oh,
9. 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can you say 9 cents?
9 cents.
9 cents. And we're going to see on our clock if we can find where is the number 9. Am I going in the right direction for number 9? I think we're going backwards. We need to come up. We're on 8. We need to come up and find. Is that 9 o'clock? Is that little hand? That is 9. Our little hand is on 9. Good job. You say 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. And what I often do is, and if this, and you, and parents, you know, if your child is too young for this or is ready for it. But when we look at counting by fives here in a moment, you can count by fives on the clock as well, or count by fives with nickels. Okay. So
Okay.
so let's count out. We're going to start counting by fives. How much is a nickel worth? A nickel
5.
is
5,
5 cents. So we're going to count by 5.
5,
Are you ready to clap with me? Let's do
Ready, go
some
ahead.
clapping.
Yeah, we don't know how to do this yet. Go ahead.
Ready?
Clap.
5,
5,
10,
10,
10,
15,
15,
20,
20,
25,
no, no.
25.
30. Good job. And anytime we count by fives, we always can look at either fives, counting by nickels
From
for
here.
by fives,
You can see from here.
or you can move the clock
And you
around
can
if
see
you
here.
have a little you can make a little play clock, even if it's out of a paper plate, and show them how you can count by fives. 5, 10, 15,
Okay.
20, 25, 30. So whenever your child is ready, oh, you have a clock as well.
Yeah, we
Awesome. We
do.
have the same clock.
Mhm. So
Awesome.
that's what she's
So I will
doing.
back
She's
up.
count by fives.
Yep, we can count by fives.
Look.
You ready? So we have 5. I'll wait till you're ready. You
Look.
tell me.
Yeah, you can go ahead. We're at 5 o'clock, but that's okay. Go ahead.
So we have
Yep.
5,
10,
10,
what's
15,
15,
20,
20,
25,
25,
and 30.
30.
30.
What's this? What?
That says 35. That's if you
If
go
we were to
5
keep
more.
going, that would be 35. And it's counting by fives. It's the same as if you were to go in mommy's pocket or maybe your piggy bank or somewhere and find a bunch of nickels, you can count by fives.
Because nickels are fives.
Okay. And then I always, once, when you're ready for it, you add on, then we add on by counting by pennies. We're not going to do it today, but counting by pennies is the same as adding on by ones. You can kind of relate money and time together there.
Okay.
This is something you can practice on. So awesome. I'm glad you have the same clock.
Mhm.
We can count by fives.
Yeah. Hey, we're all done with this.
That's something you can practice today. How about
We'll
that?
practice with it later.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Question.
Well, today we are
What do you
learning
want to call
letter. What letter is this?
The,
What letter is that? Do you know? V. We have letter V today. Excuse me. What does letter V stand for? Do you know?
Viola.
This is a violin, and I actually have a violin here. Yes, V can be
Whoa.
for violin, but it's also this week for what are we celebrating this week?
Oh,
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's.
Yes. Do you make like little hearts and little pieces of paper to give out to somebody that you love? Even if it's just your brother and your mommy, you can give out little Valentine that says, I love you, right? And I have purple here to show for the color violet.
Violet.
Violet, the color purple starts with a V, violet. And I have one more thing, if I can show, it's kind of only heavy because I have it full to show that of a vase.
What
I
is
have
that?
flowers inside a vase. Can you say a vase?
We have a base.
You have a vase? Yeah, but vase is what you put flowers inside. Awesome. And you know what? What's another word? A Dipsy, you got a vase. How about a van? Maybe, do you know what a van is? A van is something you can drive.
Yeah, Uncle.
Uh-huh.
Uncle, Uncle Daryl has one.
Uh-huh.
Uncle Daryl has a minivan.
Yep, they have vans. All kinds of, there's not as many words that start with V, but those are the most of them that start with V.
Yeah.
And this week we have the letter V. And Zippy and Ziggy like to come in and talk about, we have our Bible verse this week for V talks about victory. Do you know what victory is? Victory is, do you like to have races with your brother? Where you like to beat a race, like maybe you can race them down to, have a run.
I'm not old enough.
You're not old enough.
I'm about to turn 5.
Okay. Well, when we like to have races or anything, when you have a victory, when you won something, maybe you get to eat and you're done first at the eating table. And you're like, oh, I won, I got victory, I won tonight. Well, victory is in 1 Corinthians 15:57 says, but thanks be to God, which gives us victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. It's victory. Can you say victory? Victory. And the Z team always comes in and they like to share things. They say, wow, David must be super strong. Did you ever read about David in the Bible? He must be super strong. He must have had a good arm on that sling for it hit Goliath's forehead. David is a young boy doing what God tells him to do, just as we are doing what God tells us to do, right? We always have to listen to what God tells us and what our parents tell us to do, right?
No.
I just wonder if Goliath knew what was headed his way. I doubt it. It probably never entered his head. Ha ha. It never entered his head because it hit his head.
Remember the rock?
You remember
And
David
then
and Goliath? Well, David had victory over Goliath
Mm-hmm.
for letter V. Yep, that's our Bible verse this week. All right. All right. Well, before we have our story time, we get our little flappers going. We get ready here. We got to do our little fun chant. You ready here? We're going to move around a little bit and have some fun time before we do our story. And I just realized I never grabbed my story this morning. Where did I put my story? You know what? I think my story's upstairs. I'm going to have to run and grab my story. I just realized I never grabbed the story this morning. Oh my goodness. I'll have to run and grab the story for a minute. All right. Our story is, let's see here in our story. Oh my goodness, I'm forgetful. Our chant first off. Ready? Ready to clap with me? You ready? Think February. Say it with me. February. One more time. February. Good job. Lincoln and Washington have birthdays. You ready? Lincoln and Washington have birthdays. Can you say that with me? Lincoln and Washington have birthdays. Yes. And Lincoln and Washington are our presidents, which is why we celebrate President's Day next week.
Trump is our new president.
How many days in the month of February? There are 28 days in the month of February. Say it with me. 28 days in the month of February. What does a leap year mean? A leap year is every 4 years we have how many 9 days? Every 4 years we have 29. Every 4 years we have 29 days in the month of February.
That's what. We have Owen and we have Paisley. That's our friends. And Weston is my brother.
Oh, really?
We both have kids.
I am going to take a pause real quick and run and grab my story that I forgot. So give me 1 minute to be right back, okay? Hello, we're back. I had to run and grab my Valentine's book. This is the biggest. Can you show me how big? The biggest Valentine's ever. The biggest. All right. By the way, Valentine starts with what letter again? V. Letter V. Okay. Once there were two mice who fell in love with the same Valentines, but it didn't start out that way. The day before Valentine's Day, Mrs. Mousy asked all the students in her class at Mouserville School to make Valentine's cards. The two friends, Clayton and Desmond, decided to make a card together and give it to Mrs. Mousley as a surprise. Clayton cut a big heart out of cardboard. Desmond made a heart-shaped hole in the middle. Desmond cut out some small pink hearts and pasted them around the hole. Then he added a few more. Clayton glued glitter on the hearts. Then he glued on more glitter. He stepped back. You put too many hearts on, Clayton said. Desmond was upset. You put too much glitter on the hearts. Well, why did you make the hole in the middle? Asked Clayton. I thought it looked nice, Desmond. It doesn't look nice. It looks awful, yelled Clayton. I think it looks very nice, said Desmond, frowning. They glared at each other. Are they being nice? No. I don't want to make a Valentine with you, yelled Clayton. I don't want to make a Valentine with you, said Desmond. They tore their Valentine in half. I'm going to make my own Valentine, said Clayton. I'm going to make my own Valentine, said Desmond. That night at dinner, Clayton's dad said, Son, you look sad. Can I help you? Clayton hung his head. He told his dad about the Valentine. Clayton's dad thought for a moment. You guys may make nice Valentines on your own, but I think you would make a nicer Valentine together. At the same time, over at Desmond's house, Uncle Vernon said exactly the same thing. But Clayton didn't listen to his dad. He marched back to his room and began to make his own Valentine. He cut a big heart out of cardboard, but he didn't put a hole in the middle. He put pink hearts around the edge, but not enough pink hearts. Then Clayton put glitter on the hearts, but it was too much glitter. He stepped back and looked at his Valentine. It just wasn't right. At the same time, Desmond was making his very own Valentine. He cut a big heart out of cardboard, but he wasn't good at cutting large things, and the heart was lopsided. He made a neat heart-shaped hole in the middle, but then he put too many hearts around the hole. He sprinkled on some glitter, but not enough glitter. Desmond stepped back and looked at his Valentine. It just wasn't right. The next morning, Clayton and Desmond took the school bus. They sat far away from each other, but as they were getting off, Desmond tripped on the stairs. He bumped into Clayton, and they fell down. I think we should try making our Valentine again, said Clayton. No one said we couldn't, said Desmond. In art class, Clayton and Desmond put their heads together and came up with a plan. Then Clayton cut out the biggest, most perfect red heart anyone had ever seen. They added a pink heart to fit in the middle. Then Desmond, who was good at cutting small things, cut out some tiny pink hearts and pasted them into the big red heart. Clayton added some glitter and cut out a branch of other hearts. Desmond made a nose on one and a mischievous eye. Then they all glued the hearts together. They stepped back to look at their card. It was a giant Valentine mouse. Wow, said Clayton. We did it. Wow, said Desmond. We did it together. They gave each other a high five. They cut up a lace doily and glued it around the edge. Then they wrote on their card in big letters, Happy Valentine's Day to Mrs. Mousley. We love you, Clayton and Desmond. See, it says Happy Valentine's Day to Mrs. Mousley from Clayton and Desmond. They carried the valentine to their classroom and gave it to Mrs. Mousley. She clapped with delight. The whole class cheered. It was the biggest valentine ever, and it was also the best. The end. Did you like that story? That was a funny story, wasn't it? We'll have to show pictures of all the valentines that we make this week. All right? Well, that is the end of our story time for today. But I always like to encourage, if you're working, parents, if you're working on phonics and reading, then to come out and check out, ask me about the phonics programs that I have and the reading programs, where you get to learn more from the Z team. The Z team shares and teaches you all the time how to read. So come on out and I'll share with you more about how the phonics programs, and they all meet your level, exactly your routines, and they all exactly where you need to be for phonics and reading programs. Hi. All right, friends. We'll talk with you next time. Bye. See you later.
Bye bye.
Bye.